Hey guys, what's going on? This isn't the collection update just yet. This is something else. This is 10 questions that I'm answering from Facebook as part of a Q&A video. How this is going to work is I'm going to say the question, or I'm going to say who sent the question, say the question, and answer them if I feel like it. So, let's just jump right into it. Question 1. This is from good friend, Super Duper Fet. What is your favorite story from collecting? To put it bluntly, I really like Thrill of the Hunt from finding a new figure. But there's one story where my local comic shop was pitching this guy's Star Wars collection. And they had a lot of rare pieces in there, and I ended up getting a lot of them for very cheap. So, that one's probably my favorite. Now I'm talking figures like Pablo Jill and Moma Nadon from, that's Hammerhead for you kids. From the Saga collection, and that was a really good deal. And I got Orange Card Boba Fett, so I'm getting closer to completing my Orange Card collection. Number 2, from good friend Chris Fitter. If you could hang out with any actor or actress from the Star Wars universe for a day, who would it be and why? Samuel L. Jackson, maybe, because he's just really chill. Ewan McGregor as well. I mean, he's kind of chill. But if I could hang out with any actress, it'd be Natalie Portman. She's my favorite. 3, also from Chris Fitter. Favorite superhero and villain and why? That's an easy question. Easy answer. Favorite superhero is Batman, because I've kind of always grown up alongside Batman next to Star Wars. I mean, I watched the movies, I read the comics, big into the Arkham video games. They're so good. I loved the animated series and the DC animated universe that came with it. And I love just Batman's character and story, his persona. It's just awesome. Favorite villain is Mr. Freeze. And, excuse me. And that's because I also love his backstory, which got a drastic change thanks to the animated series, but it was a very good change. And I definitely proclaim him as my favorite villain, with a lot of Batman villains like right behind him. 4, this is from Facebook user Jermaine Jonker. I hope I got that right. What or who made you start collecting? Well, what was the Star Wars films in general, and who was my next door neighbor who actually had a collection of Power of the Force 2 figures. He actually showed me his collection one day. This is when I was about maybe 7, 8 years old. And he had just about every Power of the Force 2 figure out. So, and back then that was huge for me. So, from that I started silently collecting, I guess. Just, if I got a figure, I got a figure. But I didn't start collecting seriously until 2001. My mom brought me 4 figures back from Niagara Falls from Power of the Jedi, which were Bespin Han Solo, Aurra Sing, IG-88, and the Scout Trooper. And from there on, I collected every figure I can get my hands on. I mean, since then I've missed out on some good stuff, but, you know, wouldn't change it because it's been an experience, and I'm sure it still will be. Number 5, also from Jermaine. What do you collect the most? Star Wars. Followed by Transformers, Gundams, which are the second too important. But I collect Star Wars the most, so... And I'm probably always going to collect Star Wars the most. It's definitely the most dominant thing in my toy collection. Number 6. This is a good question from Noah Doc on Facebook. Do you prefer the original trilogy, prequel trilogy, or both, and why? Original trilogy, because I like the way it was originally filmed. I liked the original effects. I loved miniatures. I liked, for the most part, I did like the acting. Empire is my favorite movie, so of course I'm going to back up the OT, for life. But bear in mind, I did like the prequel trilogy. I did like the Battle of Geonosis. I did like a lot of the visuals in the battles in Episode 3. I did like Darth Maul. I liked the battle with Darth Maul. So I like pod racing. So I like both, but I prefer the original trilogy. 7, from very good friend Daniel East. The worst figure in your collection. Jar Jar Binks. The Episode 1 figure. along with the Episode 1 cinema scene figure, along with the Power of the Jedi figure of him sticking his tongue out. I have 3 Jar Jar Binks, and that's 3 too many. 8. This one is from Paul, aka Rodimus184. What is the worst figure of all time in your opinion? That is a hard question, because there's a lot of bad ones. But vintage, there's definitely not bad ones, like that many bad ones in vintage. I'm gonna say my least favorite figure, or the worst figure of all time, sorry, is, I don't know. Oh, you know what? It's probably those deluxe lightsaber figures from Episode 1. I didn't really like those at all. I mean, I know it's gimmicks, but they look ridiculous. Yeah, so I'm going to say the deluxe figures from Episode 1. Here's a good question from a good friend. The Force is with Jesse, a.k.a. Jesse. And his question is, do you read many Star Wars novels? If so, what are your favorites? Well, if I haven't stressed it enough, Tales of the Bounty Hunters is my favorite. And followed by the New Jedi Order series, which I briefly read back in the day. I've been meaning to go back and read like the major book series, like New Jedi Order, Legacy of the Force, the Dark Nest stuff, and Tales of the Jedi, just so, you know, see what happens. But most of the time I just end up reading the synopsises, to be totally honest. So I know it takes away from the experience. But I am going to be reading a lot of the Tales of the Cantina and Tales from Jabba's Palace books, hopefully. But I really want to read Death Troopers, because that's the one I've been putting off for a long time, and I really want to read it. So, but my favorite book is Tales of the Bounty Hunters. That's my all-time favorite. I also recommend the Heir to the Empire stuff, but the comic can also provide a nice sort of replacement for that. And then the final question from Facebook user Kevin Hyun. What was your very first action figure or comic? I'll answer both, actually. My first comic was a novel-sized Batman graphic novel that was like 300 to 400 pages of stories, which was just a really good read. It had just about every villain you could want in there, but it was old. It was like old 60s Batman stuff. So that was my first comic. My first figure, which I got on my 6th or 7th birthday, was Power of the Force 2 Han Solo. Orange card. And that's where it all literally began. So I have one now, carded, mint, on my wall, and I'm really psyched that I do, because it's just kind of the piece that started it all, and I can't wait to have this, like, the carded stuff framed one day, just sort of say it's special. So that was my 10 questions. Hopefully I answered them, to your satisfaction. Before I end this video, I want to give a shout out to Mike, Super Duper Fett, once again, because he just announced that he got me a figure, or he found a figure I was looking for, and I just want to say, and this goes out to like a lot of certain people I've been talking to lately in the community, there's a lot of good guys here. I'm feeling very welcome, and I have your lists, and luckily, when I was in the city today, I found some of your wants. It's just a matter of going to go pick them up. So, with that, I will see you guys soon. I'm either going to do my Kraken review next or collection review. I'm not too sure yet. And after that, possibly another top 5. Just I don't know what the theme will be. So until then, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.